Welcome to Apartment Luxe, where luxury meets imagination.
The entryway opens with a sense of grandeur that feels unmistakably Rolls-Royce. Marble flooring stretches outward, its veins flowing like rivers across stone, while smoked glass partitions reflect the skyline of Dubai in luminous fragments. The Spirit of Ecstasy emblem is subtly embedded into the entry wall, a quiet nod to the automotive inspiration that defines this apartment. The living room unfolds like a theater of extravagance. Suspended above, an actual Rolls-Royce gleams as a chandelier centerpiece, its polished chrome body reflecting daylight, headlights reimagined as luminous fixtures casting a soft glow across velvet seating below. Walnut walls are traced with brass inlays, their rhythm echoing the grille lines of the car. Smoked glass windows stretch floor to ceiling, framing the Burj Khalifa in the distance, while greenery softens the geometry. Velvet seating in warm monochrome anchors the space, folds catching daylight in soft highlights. A marble low table rests luminous at the center, its surface reflecting chrome accents like jewelry scattered across stone. Brass-framed shelving rises upward, sculptural yet restrained, echoing the symmetry of Rolls-Royce design. Daylight moves across the room like choreography, highlighting textures, velvet folds, walnut grain, chrome lines, smoked glass reflections. The kitchen continues the narrative with sharper clarity. Brass fixtures gleam against slabs of marble, veins running like lyrical lines across surfaces. Walnut cabinetry stretches in clean symmetry, softened by resin accents that mimic the flow of water. Steel appliances integrate seamlessly, their polished edges reflecting daylight in crisp highlights. The island, a monolith of marble and chrome, stands as both functional centerpiece and sculptural statement. Bold, confident, expansive. Velvet stools in warm monochrome tuck beneath the island, their texture adding richness to the atmosphere. Above, a ceiling detail inspired by Rolls-Royce's starlight design glimmers faintly, a subtle nod to automotive luxury translated into architectural rhythm. From the kitchen, the apartment transitions into a gallery-like corridor. Walnut walls stretch in clean lines, abstract forms that suggest headlights, grills, and flowing curves without literal replication. The bedroom opens with a sense of serenity that feels both celestial and automotive. Above, a starlight ceiling glimmers softly, inspired by Rolls-Royce's signature constellation detail. Each pinpoint of light is set against a velvet canopy, creating the illusion of a night sky suspended indoors. Walnut panels rise in clean symmetry, softened by chrome trims that shimmer under daylight. Linen bedding in warm monochrome rests against a sculptural headboard, its curves echoing the flowing geometry of a Rolls-Royce dashboard. The atmosphere is expansive, fresh, and unapologetically luxurious, a sanctuary where rest feels like a bespoke journey. Beyond the bedroom, the walk-in closet reveals itself as a gallery of identity. Walnut cabinetry stretches in precise lines, mirrored doors reflecting daylight into infinite repetitions. Brass handles gleam like jewelry, subtle reminders of elegance woven into utility. Velvet-lined shelves cradle accessories, while smoked glass partitions create a rhythm of transparency and shadow. The bathroom continues the narrative with bold extravagance. A bespoke toilet seat reimagines the front of a Rolls-Royce, grille lines sculpted into chrome, headlights integrated as luminous accents, the Spirit of Ecstasy emblem subtly embedded into the lid. Despite its playful audacity, it remains functional, a fusion of humor and opulence. Marble walls rise luminous, veins flowing like rivers across stone. Brass fixtures arc with sculptural precision, their golden sheen catching daylight in crisp highlights. A freestanding tub rests beneath a skylight, its surface reflecting both water and sky. From the bathroom, the apartment opens onto the terrace, a stage suspended above Dubai. Marble flooring stretches outward, chrome railings catching the sun in shimmering reflections. Velvet seating in warm monochrome anchors the space, folds rich against the clarity of open air. Greenery rises along the edges, softening the skyline into a living composition. Daylight floods the terrace, illuminating every surface, creating a theater of serenity above the city. The Burj Khalifa rises in the distance, its silhouette framed by the terrace's geometry. The office completes the private journey with a tone of quiet confidence. At its center, a Rolls-Royce is parked indoors, polished chrome body, reflecting daylight across walnut desks and brass inlays. Smoked glass partitions shimmer with reflections, while velvet seating adds richness to the atmosphere. Greenery integrated into shelving and walls softens the geometry, weaving biophilic motifs into the rhythm of work. The apartment concludes with a final reflection, a pause in the narrative that gathers all spaces into a single composition. Daylight has been the constant, flowing across marble, walnut, chrome, brass, velvet, steel, and greenery. Illuminating textures, shaping atmosphere, guiding rhythm. The influence of Rolls-Royce design has been bold yet harmonious. Fresh, spacious, luxurious, expansive, unapologetically elegant. This is not a replica of a car, but a translation of its spirit into architecture. A showcase of luxury where every detail resonates with artistry. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video. Share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more cinematic journeys where imagination meets luxury.
Milan rises like a sketch, sharp, intentional. Lines of architecture drawn with the confidence of someone who already knows how the world ends. And above those lines, above the city's competitors, contenders, and imitators, sits a penthouse that feels less like a residence and more like a thesis. The entrance is not a foyer. It is a void of power, a double-height atrium clad in raw concrete walls so smooth they behave like silk, edges terminating in surgical chrome seams. Beneath, a floor of black marble extends outward like ink poured across the page, veining subtle and deliberate, patterned like handwriting. A single Prada Casa bench, white leather like a scalpel cut through shadow, stands alone at the center. The atrium opens into a gallery corridor, long enough to feel impossible. On one side, the city appears through uninterrupted glass, Milan presented like a photograph in an exhibition. On the other, a procession of sculptural Prada furniture pieces, monolithic consoles in resin and steel, stone tables that feel quarried from the idea of geometry itself. The living room reveals itself like a revelation, not by size but by scale. A sunken conversation pit in black stone descends as though carved by gravitational pull, encircled by low-profile Prada sofas, wrapped in white leather, so matte they appear to consume light rather than reflect it. Daylight slices across the room in architectural beams, dissecting space like tailoring. Silence lives here, a beautiful, curated silence. From the living space, the dining gallery emerges with the kind of control that makes breathing feel optional. A table the length of a runway, black marble, edges beveled like the blade of a razor, surrounded by Prada chairs in bone leather and chrome. Lighting descends not as fixtures, but as geometry. This is not where meals happen. This is where taste is negotiated. The kitchen is the first moment of mercy, if such a word applies to Prada. Counters float, white resin planes that taper downward into nothing, appliances concealed behind panels of matte black stone that feel more like monoliths than cabinetry. Sinks disappear into chrome seams. Faucets retract until memory is the only proof they exist. A sculptural island stands in the center, carved from a single piece of concrete, edges softened like abrasion worn smooth. Beyond the kitchen, a research library replaces what would be a casual hallway. Shelves in black steel and walnut line the walls. Empty, except for a curated collection of volumes on architecture, history, and anatomy. A single stone table sits at the center like an altar. This is where people come to think, not speak. Beyond it, the master suites wait. 3 of them. The first master suite is a thesis on proportion. A platform bed in bone leather extends outward like a stage, polished to an almost liquid sheen. The headboard rises in a single uninterrupted plane, edges trimmed in surgical chrome seams so thin they appear as incisions. Furniture is sparse, intentional, each piece given room to broadcast its origin. The bathroom connected to this suite behaves like a memory of water rather than a room for it. A sunken tub carved directly into the concrete floor rests beneath a ringed skylight, daylight forming a halo around the void. Chrome fixtures rise like instrumentation, slender, exact, without ornament. The second master suite alters the formula. Concrete softens to walnut and brushed steel, a study in material contrast. The bed is lower, the platform extending into a sculptural bench at the foot. Furniture and architecture indistinguishable. A Prada lounge chair in white suede sits beneath a pendant light, shaped like an elongated ellipse, its chrome frame suspended like an anatomical diagram. This suite feels less like rest, more like contemplation, a room where choices are made. Its bathroom glows in diffused daylight. Walls in cream resin curve like the interior of a shell. Edges dissolve into negative space. A freestanding vanity in black stone narrows at the base like the neck of a decanter. chromed steel legs disappearing into the floor like roots. Mirrors are etched in vertical linework. Tailoring marks scaled to architecture. Ghost traces of seamstress chalk. The third master suite is the Rebellion, the only place where softness is permitted. Flooring in palest gray terrazzo, flecked with silver, a bed wrapped in ivory leather curves into the wall. Headboard folding upward like the collar of a coat. A seating pit in cream suede occupies the far corner, surrounded by shelving in black steel and glass that displays objects like research artifacts, concepts, not souvenirs. Light enters through a window slit that runs the entire length of the suite, as if the room has been stitched to the skyline. Its bathroom is the most intimate of the three, the closest Prada will ever come to romance. A tub in pale quartz sits beneath a glass ceiling, water reflecting daylight like runway gloss. Chrome rails curve along the walls like guides for hands that hesitate. Two sinks in carved stone, mirrors descend from the ceiling like sculptures rather than fixtures. There is no color to warm it. Warmth is earned by presence. Outside the suites, the penthouse shifts again. A soundproof listening room waits in matte black stone, walls embedded with acoustic ribs like the inside of a piano. Music here is a material. The gym is a cathedral of strength. Equipment trimmed in black steel, grips wrapped in leather, stitched like glove seams. Rubberized floors segment into geometric patterning, each zone calibrated for function. No chaos, no clutter. Performance engineered like couture. The penthouse concludes at the observatory terrace. A concrete cantilever extends into open air, glass balustrades trimmed in chrome that hold nothing between resident and city. Prada chaise sits at the edge, white leather against skyline, the most dangerous seat in Milan. Daylight strikes the surfaces like a flash. The city bows. Because in this world, luxury isn't softness. Luxury is control. Luxury is precision. Luxury is the choice to remove anything that does not belong. This home is not defined by what it has. It is defined by what it refuses. This is Prada, and this is what $100 million feels like when architecture learns to speak. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination. New York carries a certain rhythm at this height, measured, confident, unhurried. From above, the city's constant movement softens into geometry and light, and inside this $80 million penthouse, that rhythm becomes architectural. This is Fendi translated into space. The arrival corridor establishes the tone immediately. Wide, expansive, and intentionally grand, it unfolds as a procession rather than a passage. Walls are clad in warm stone with subtle horizontal articulation, their surfaces smooth yet richly textured under daylight. Brushed bronze detailing traces long, refined lines along the architecture, introducing Fendi's unmistakable sense of polish and heritage. As the corridor opens, the penthouse reveals its public heart. The living room is massive, wide, luminous, and designed to breathe. Floor-to-ceiling windows stretch across the entire facade, pulling daylight deep into the space and bathing every surface in warmth. The architecture favors openness and proportion over drama, allowing the materials to speak with confidence. A large tailored seating composition defines the center of the room. Upholstered in rich, neutral fabrics with subtle texture, it feels both inviting and authoritative. Leather accents, softly curved forms, and polished metal detailing give the furniture a distinctly Fendi presence. Luxurious without rigidity, elegant without fragility. A monumental stone coffee table anchors the arrangement, its surface smooth, heavy, and tactile. Surrounding elements are carefully spaced, allowing negative space to reinforce the room's scale rather than dilute it. Nothing is crowded. Everything is intentional. Walls are finished in warm architectural panels, their tone balancing stone and fabric, while subtle bronze inlays add refinement without distraction. The city skyline remains ever present, framed like a living artwork beyond the glass. The transition into the dining space is seamless, yet defined. Here, the sense of Italian hospitality becomes unmistakable. A grand dining table stretches generously through the room, crafted from polished stone, with softened edges that feel both sculptural and welcoming. Chairs upholstered in supple leather surround it, their profiles refined, their presence substantial. Above, a tailored lighting installation floats quietly, architectural, warm, and precise, casting an even glow that enhances material richness rather than competing with daylight. The space feels designed for long gatherings, important conversations, and effortless luxury. Beyond the dining area, the kitchen unfolds as a statement of refined indulgence. This is not a kitchen meant to hide. It is meant to be admired. Cabinetry rises in warm, neutral finishes with impeccable detailing, accented by bronze hardware and subtle patterning that recalls Fendi's design language without literal repetition. A large central island anchors the room, finished in premium stone and surrounded by ample circulation space, reinforcing the sense of scale. Every surface feels deliberate, polished yet restrained, luxurious yet functional. Integrated appliances disappear seamlessly, allowing material continuity to take precedence. Daylight glides across stone, metal, and lacquer, creating a sense of softness that remains unmistakably premium. The first master suite opens into a space defined by generosity and balance. The room is expansive, allowing furniture and architecture to breathe without restraint. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the city in warm daylight, while the interior palette leans into creamy stone, soft neutrals, and refined leather. The bed sits confidently at the center, upholstered in tailored fabric with a broad, elegant headboard that feels distinctly Fendi, luxurious, composed, and timeless. Lounge seating occupies one side of the room, wrapped in supple leather and paired with sculptural side tables and polished stone. The atmosphere is welcoming yet authoritative, a space designed for rest without ever feeling understated. Its ensuite bathroom continues the narrative at spa scale. Large format marble surfaces wrap the room in warmth, complemented by brushed metal fixtures and refined detailing. A freestanding tub rests beneath a tall window, bathed in daylight, while a long vanity stretches across the wall with sculpted basins and expansive mirrors. The space feels indulgent, serene, and unmistakably expensive. The second master suite introduces a slightly richer tone. Warm wood paneling adds depth, while stone flooring maintains continuity. The bed is framed by architectural symmetry, flanked by refined night elements that blend leather and metal with effortless confidence. A private seating area near the windows transforms the skyline into a calm, ever-present backdrop. Its bathroom mirrors the same generosity of scale, stone, marble, and metal working together in harmony. A walk-in shower and sculptural vanity elevate daily rituals into moments of luxury, reinforcing the penthouse's commitment to comfort without compromise. The third master suite completes the trio with a deeper sense of intimacy. Here the palette shifts subtly darker, introducing richer textures and softer light. The proportions remain generous, but the mood becomes more enveloping. The bed anchors the space beneath a wide architectural headboard, while minimal furnishings allow material quality to take precedence. The adjoining bathroom is immersive and refined, finished in layered stone and warm metallic accents. Daylight filters in softly, revealing texture and craftsmanship rather than brightness. It feels like a private retreat within the retreat. Walk-in closets throughout the private wing feel closer to private boutiques than storage. Wide open layouts showcase tailored cabinetry, leather-lined drawers, and bronze detailing. Everything is designed to be seen, accessed, and appreciated, reinforcing Fendi's heritage of craftsmanship and fashion-forward luxury. Beyond the suites, the penthouse expands into its more functional, yet equally refined spaces. The private office is calm and composed. A large desk, crafted from polished wood and stone, faces the city, while shelving lines the walls with a mix of books, art, and curated objects. The atmosphere encourages focus without rigidity, luxury that supports thought rather than overwhelms it. Nearby, the meeting room feels quietly authoritative. A large table anchors the space, surrounded by refined seating upholstered in leather. Stone and wood surfaces create a warm, professional environment designed for meaningful conversations and decisive moments. The gym continues the penthouse's philosophy of indulgence through refinement. Spacious and bright, it features premium equipment integrated seamlessly into the architecture. Stone flooring, mirrored surfaces, and warm finishes create an environment that feels private, disciplined, and elevated rather than aggressive. The bar introduces a more relaxed expression of luxury. A sculptural counter and polished stone curves gently through the space, backed by warm shelving and soft metallic accents. Seating is comfortable and refined, arranged to encourage conversation and quiet enjoyment. Even here, daylight remains present, grounding the space in realism and calm. Finally, the terrace opens the penthouse outward. Wide, expansive, and beautifully composed, it extends the interior's warmth into the open air. Stone flooring continues seamlessly outside, while refined outdoor seating and sculptural tables create a private retreat above the city. The skyline stretches endlessly beyond, framed by elegance rather than spectacle. This penthouse doesn't rely on drama to define luxury. It relies on proportion, craftsmanship, and warmth. Every room feels intentional. Every surface feels considered. Every space reflects a vision of luxury that is confident, generous, and enduring. This is Fendi at its highest expression, Italian refinement elevated to a New York scale, designed not to impress for a moment, but to endure. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination. Paris arrives like a whisper of silk against skin. At the height of the skyline, just beyond the last rational tier of architecture, a single residence crowns the city, Dior Paradox, a penthouse suspended between reality and couture, where the rules of construction seem tailored rather than engineered. The entrance corridor feels like stepping into the lining of a gown. Walls curve inward, like the cinched waist of the bar jacket, narrow at the start before flaring outward with architectural grace. They are upholstered in dove gray silk, quilted so finely that the stitching appears like pencil sketches. Atelier marks trapped beneath satin, ghost signatures of hands that shape the world. Then light. The corridor releases into the living room with the drama of a runway reveal. A full wall of glass frames the Arc de Triomphe at perfect alignment, as though the monument itself were placed for this apartment, not the other way around. The living room curves in a gentle crescent, echoing the flow of haute couture skirts. Custom sofas in satin blush upholstery spiral in sculptural shapes, their bases flaring like gowns arrested mid-twirl. Between them stands a coffee table carved from a single block of alabaster, its edges draped in contours like the folds of muslin before a dress is born. On the far side, a fireplace in Dior gray stone rises like a pleated panel, the flame framed by chrome seams shaped like softened tailoring tools. The curve of shears, the arc of a pattern maker's compass. Every surface feels touched by intention. Nothing is literal, nothing is theme park. It is couture made habitable, as though the maison itself had tailored a home the way it tailors a body. The dining room is a paradox of restraint and spectacle. A monolithic table in frosted resin resembles tulle captured beneath ice, backlit from within, glowing like a runway underfoot. 14 chairs in pearl leather cinch inward at the back before flaring at the base. The silhouette unmistakably bar jacket without ever naming it. Overhead, a chandelier constructed from cascading chrome ribbons twists in upward spirals, like airborne fabric caught in perpetual motion. A sculpture of wind and light, unreal, and yet engineered with perfect functionality. The kitchen is an atelier masquerading as a domestic space. Cabinetry of matte white lacquer folds like pleats. Brass pulls resemble elongated embroidery needles, slender and elegant. The central island tapers like a bodice, narrow at the waist, then expands outward into a marble skirt of cascading stone layers, each stratum veined with blush undertones. Appliances vanish into the architecture, paneled beneath silk-wrapped surfaces that would seem impractical if not for the precision of their integration. It feels less like a place to cook and more like a chamber for creation, a studio where gastronomy becomes performance. From here, a gallery hallway extends, but not as storage or display. It behaves like a salon. Along one wall, recessed vitrines hold couture artifacts that are not garments but silhouettes. Resin studies of draping, chrome interpretations of pleating, carved stone that mimics the tension of fabric pulled taut. At the far end of the salon, the world bends again. A transition space curves upward, as if the architecture itself were inhaling. The ceiling narrows, the floor widens, proportions shifting like measurements changing on a pattern table. The bar jacket silhouette, translated into spatial rhythm. Beyond this point lies the private realm. The first bedroom presents itself as a crescendo in grayscale. A monumental bed rises on a platform of pearl marble, the edges curved like the hem of a gown sweeping across a runway. Headboard panels arc backward in layered tiers, like pleats opening around a torso, upholstered in dove gray mohair and edged with chrome seam lines. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the Arc de Triomphe, perfectly centered as though the architecture itself had been tailored around the view. A seating area in satin blush velvet curves around a sculptural table of alabaster and chrome, like a ruffle of fabric sculpted into permanence. Every gesture feels precise, like a garment fitted against the city. The ensuite bathroom continues the narrative. Calicotta viola, marble with violet veining, wraps the walls in billowing draped volumes, each vein aligned to mimic the flow of embroidered vines. A freestanding tub carved from translucent alabaster glows from within, an internal light warming the stone like fabric beneath stage lighting. Twin vanities curve inward, narrowing like a bodice, before flaring outward in stone skirts beneath each basin. Fixtures in polished chrome and brushed platinum resemble the shapes of pins and shears, softened, abstracted, and scaled into jewelry for the room. The second master suite shifts tone, Dior Homme rendered residential. Walls clad in smoked oak paneling feel like the interior of a bespoke suit, grain aligned like pressed seams. A bed in deep charcoal mohair rests beneath a canopy of blackened steel ribs, shaped like the internal structure of a corset, architectural scaffolding in place of ornament. Midday light filters through sheer curtains. Embroidered with metallic thread, patterns reminiscent of muslin markings used during fittings. Furniture has a sharper silhouette here. Angular chaise lounges, chrome-edged marble consoles, a desk in black lacquer that seems to float above the floor, supported by hidden structure. It is couture masculinity without cliché, a quiet authority built into form. Its bathroom is a cathedral of smoked stone. Charcoal marble with gold undertones forms sweeping walls that curve inward, creating an embrace of architecture. A shower chamber stands like a sculptural vault, rainfall head hidden within a ribbed ceiling, reminiscent of gown boning. Vanities of onyx and brushed gold taper inward. Waistline architecture in material rather than fabric. Flooring warms beneath foot through radiant heating, the temperature calibrated like the perfect atelier environment. The third master suite is the dream. Color leaves the room. It exists in whispers of ivory, beige, and the faintest blush. Walls curve like muslin caught on a mannequin, the form implied but not visible. A floating bed rests on a recessed platform, illumination rising around it like diffused atelier light beneath a skirt. Above, a circular skylight diffuses daylight through frosted glass, pattern etched like tulle. It feels like existing inside the moment before a garment takes shape. Possibility held in tension. Its bathroom is a study in absence and restraint. Penthouse marble surrounds, flawless, seamless, edges mitered so cleanly the corners dissolve. A single vanity, carved from a slab of ivory stone, appears to grow from the wall, supported by brass ribs like the inner structure of a dress shell. A mirror lifts from the surface when approached, activated by motion, rising like the reveal of a final look. This is not neutrality. It is the luxury of nothing left to prove. The walk-in closet is the only space that acknowledges obsession outright. Curved shelves in lacquered white wrap the room like a continuous ribbon. Drawers open with a weightless glide, silk-lined and stitched with thread of pearl seams. A central island in alabaster and chrome holds jewelry trays like vitrines at the Musée des Arts Décoratifs. Lighting is atelier correct, neutral, perfect, surgical. Face, fabric, truth, all visible. The private office behaves like a confession. A desk in Dior gray lacquer and satin nickel faces a window angled toward the monument, the city submitting its horizon like a fitting. Shelves in resin and chrome display sculptural studies, pleats, folds, spirals, samples of couture techniques fossilized as art. It feels like a place where decisions shape silhouettes, not markets. And then, the terrace. The world opens. Paris unfurls beneath, a skirt of boulevards radiating from the arc. Stone flooring in pale limestone is inlaid with brass seam lines, like the city has been tailored for the penthouse. Seating forms in cream leather and chrome arc in crescent shapes, like parentheses around conversation, around identity. Here the paradox resolves. Architecture as garment, garment as architecture. A home that wears its owner. This penthouse does not ask to be understood. It asks to be fitted. It asks to be inhabited like couture. It asks to be lived the way a gown is worn on the runway. Not for longevity, but for the impossible moment where everything is true. Because at $80 million, reality becomes personal, and couture is allowed to be a universe. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination. Daylight fills the entryway, revealing a penthouse built around forged carbon structures, angular silhouettes, and a color palette rooted in Lamborghini's most recognizable elements. The flooring is finished in large volcanic stone slabs, each one cut with clean edges and a faint dark sheen that anchors the space. Along the walls, subtle lime green LED lines run in straight paths, sharp and measured, guiding the eye toward the heart of the home. A gallery-style corridor leads forward. The corridor opens into the double-height living room. The shift in scale is immediate. A full glass wall faces the skyline, bringing in bright daylight and creating a clean contrast against the deep tones of the interior. Forged carbon architectural beams run overhead, forming subtle angular intersections that echo the surfaces of modern Lamborghini models. Suspended from the ceiling is the defining centerpiece of the living space, a yellow Lamborghini Gallardo mounted as a chandelier. The car hangs from 4 minimal tension steel cables, each anchored discreetly into the structural frame above. The nose is tipped downward, angled with precision so the headlights illuminate the room beneath. Their soft, controlled beams provide the primary ambient lighting for the space, casting a warm, diffused light across the room. Despite its presence, the Gallardo does not overwhelm the space. The room's height and width allow it to sit comfortably, almost floating, its bright yellow finish adding a sharp contrast to the darker forged carbon textures around it. The seating area is arranged directly beneath the suspended installation. Low-profile lounge chairs upholstered in Lamborghini orange leather create a strong visual anchor. Their frames are made from forged carbon, shaped with clean, angular lines that reference the interior language of a Revuelto or Aventador. A sculptural table sits at the center, formed from a single block of volcanic stone with a polished top and matte sides, matching the flooring and keeping the space cohesive. The kitchen is defined by its Lamborghini-designed island, a sculptural piece shaped from forged carbon with a wedge-like geometry. The top is made from dark volcanic stone, cut with precise angles and polished to a deep reflective finish. The underside of the island features a thin strip of lime green LED lighting, giving the entire structure a floating appearance. Bar seating around the island uses the same Lamborghini orange leather found in the living room. The stitching is sharp and deliberate, matching the interior patterns found in Lambo seats. Cabinets follow the same angular language, structured in clean lines and finished in matte black, with forged carbon inserts. Every surface feels engineered, not decorative. Past the kitchen, the gallery corridor returns in a wider form. The master bedroom opens into a wide, unobstructed layout. Sapphire-tinted glass wraps the exterior wall, framing the Dubai skyline with clear precision. The bed rests against a long headboard upholstered in Lamborghini orange leather, stitched in angular sections that reference the wedge-shaped seats of the Aventador. The stitching is sharp, structured, and intentional, giving the room a strong architectural identity. Nightstands on either side are sculpted from forged carbon, their surfaces polished to a deep, glossy finish. The flooring remains volcanic stone, continuing the grounded, expansive feel established in the public areas. A seating arrangement near the window includes 2 angular lounge chairs, upholstered in Lamborghini orange leather, paired with a small forged carbon side table. From this vantage point, the skyline appears close enough to feel like part of the room's design. The walk-in closet extends the identity of the bedroom. Its layout is organized, structured, and quietly luxurious. Gloss black cabinetry lines the walls, each panel inset with forged carbon detailing. Sapphire glass shelves divide the sections with precise symmetry. At the center, a dedicated illuminated showcase houses a curated selection of Jacob & Co. X Lamborghini watches. The bathroom continues the theme with more pronounced sculptural forms. It is large, open, and finished in smooth ivory, stone with faint, cool veining. The centerpiece is a Lamborghini-designed bathtub crafted from forged carbon and polished resin. The tub's angular outer shell reflects the geometry of modern Lamborghini models, and it sits on a floating platform of dark stone. Beneath the platform, a subtle lime green light adds a quiet glow around its perimeter. Opposite the tub, the vanity stretches across the wall. It features a thick slab of volcanic stone with a forged carbon base in Lamborghini orange leather inlaid along the edges. The faucets are sculptural, made from matte black composite with angular forms inspired by the air intakes of a Revuelto. The mirrors rise from the counter in a single continuous panel with soft backlight. To the side, the Lamborghini-designed toilet carries the same material combination. Matte black composite with lime green edge detailing. The skylight above casts bright daylight across all surfaces, keeping the bathroom visually open and connected to the Dubai horizon. A short corridor leads to the terrace, where the scale expands again. The outdoor space is wide and unobstructed, fully wrapped with blue carbon frame glass railings. The flooring is light, textured stone that stays cool under the daytime heat. A set of custom Lamborghini-designed outdoor furniture anchors the seating area. Forged carbon frames support lounge chairs upholstered in Lamborghini orange leather, shaped to match the angular ergonomics of Lamborghini interiors. Low tables combine polished aluminum and sapphire-tinted glass, giving the terrace a sculptural and contemporary presence. At one corner of the terrace, an aerodynamic sculpture made from forged carbon rises from a low pedestal. Its sharp lines and layered surfaces echo the design language of the Lamborghini Revuelto. Beyond it, the skyline extends in every direction, bringing the energy of the city directly into the experience of the home. The final private space is the office. It is designed with the same precision as the rest of the penthouse. A sculptural desk sits at the center, crafted from polished aluminum and deep Lamborghini orange leather, supported by a forged carbon base with angular geometry. The sapphire-tinted glass wall brings in controlled daylight, making the room feel poised and purposeful. The residence concludes with a view toward the marina and the skyline beyond. The Lamborghini Penthouse is built around scale, clarity, and performance-inspired luxury, creating a home that blends engineering with architectural refinement. If you enjoyed the tour, like the video. Share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories where luxury meets imagination.